Good evening, everyone. I am Janie with Singles Travel International, and tonight we are presenting Vineyards and Villages of Portugal Singles Cruise. I'd like to introduce you to Denise from Avalon Waterways. And Denise, it's such a pleasure to have you this evening, and we are all yours.
Thank you for having me. Hi, everybody. How are you? I am Denise Fraind. I'm with the Globus Family of Brands and Avalon Waterways, and I'm excited to bring you our latest baby and our newest ship and our newest itinerary, and is the Doro. So Tammy with Singles Travel International jumped on this right away. We have a trip going this year, and she was the first one to get some singles for you guys, and now we've got this one for 2025. Just to let you know about Portugal, it is a hot destination. This ship, and I'll show you the ship, and this is it behind me here. This is the top deck. This is the pool that's up on the top deck. And this ship just came out on the end of March. So brand new ship, brand new itinerary, and this is sold out for 2024. We might have a couple cabins here and there, but it's the newest ship on the Douro, and it's new for us. And let's kind of dive in, and we'll first go on board and show you the ship, what you're going to experience on board, and then a little bit about the itinerary. Come on. There we go. So these are some of the photos that they took for the christening that just happened at the end of March. And this is in Porto, which is, oh, it's where it starts and ends, and it's absolutely beautiful, Porto. I don't know if any of you have been to it yet. I just went to Portugal, middle of March. Porto, if you've been to Budapest, it kind of reminded me of Budapest a little bit. You have two sides to it. This side is like the historic part. The other side is kind of like the quieter side, and that has all of the wineries all along the river, all the port wine and restaurants and these different wineries. There's a gondola that goes to the top to take you over to this side, and here's the ship going down the Douro, cutting right through Porto. So just kind of looking at the outside of the ship here, it looks like all the rest of our ships, but it's a lot smaller, but it's the same design. You'll see there are cabins here on the bottom, and then there are the floor to ceiling sliding glass doors, which I'll show you. Those are our panorama suites. So these ones on the bottom, we call these category D, category E. These are 172 and 180 square feet. And then everything above this is 200 square feet, beds facing out. So only 51 staterooms. So we only have 102 guests on this riverboat. Our other ones, like on the Rhine and the Danube, they have either 166, or our French river cruises have 126. So this one only 102. So we have 14 deluxe staterooms. Those are the ones I mentioned on the bottom. When you look at this picture, those are the ones in the bottom on the blue that have the windows. And then everything above that, I'll show you some pictures of our 200 square foot cabin, beds facing out. You'll see 37 panorama suites. Those are the ones that are 200 square feet. And this is tailor made for the Douro because it needs to be a smaller ship. And it's a 3-to-1 guest crew ratio. So here we go. This is the christening. That's our godmother, and then our president of Avalon right there in the picture. And again, this just got christened, what, 2 months ago. This just shows you pictures of the categories. These are the ones that are on the bottom. So 172 square feet, 180 with a window. And then here is the picture from the christening. These cabins are 200 square feet. That bed looks small, but it separates into two singles if you do have a roommate. But these are 200 square feet. That's an 11-foot sliding glass door. 7 feet of it open up. You've got your flat screen TV that comes out. We have refrigerators in there, a desk, USB outlets, but you still need to bring an adapter if you want to charge some other things. But if you just need to charge your phone, we have USB outlets for that. The bathrooms are absolutely, this is not changing. There we go. Here it is from the outside in. And then here are the bathrooms. They're absolutely beautiful, very modern, bigger than some hotel style bathrooms. I still have not managed to pack with just a carry on. I'm a really horrible packer, and I always travel with all my hair stuff and all that stuff. And there's plenty of room for your stuff. A big countertop. You've got that glass shelf. That's L'Occitane products. We have lotion, soap, and then inside conditioner, shampoo. So these are beautiful shower. It's a shower door, not a shower curtain like what some cruise ships have. And again, very modern. This is when you walk onto the ship. So this is the reception area. Here is the dining room. So the way it works with Avalon, and this is for all our ships, we have an early riser breakfast and we have a buffet breakfast. So the buffet breakfast, you can also order from the menu. And then lunch, we have lunch in the dining room, which is a buffet, or you can order from the menu, or you can go to the main lounge and have a light lunch, which is a little bit of what we have for the buffet. During lunch, beer, wine, refreshments are included for lunch. And then dinner is sit down dinner, open seating between 7 and 8:30. And you can also go to the main lounge for a light dinner there. Beer, wine, refreshments are also included for dinner. We also have happy hour, which is an hour before dinner, but it's included. So we have an included happy hour, and there's a list of about 15 drinks that you can pick from that's included. We also do have cappuccino maker on board. We have two cappuccino makers on board that has cappuccinos, lattes, hot milk for your hot chocolate, iced lattes, and that's also included. You can also have room service. And then here is just some areas that are on the ship. Again, these were all taken during the christening. And then here's the main lounge. So we do have one main lounge, one bar, and then we also have local entertainment that comes on board. And then for the nights that we don't have local entertainment, we have karaoke one night. We have some games that we play on the other nights. And then this is what's behind me. So we do have a pool. This is the only ship that we have that has a pool up top. Our other ships have a hot tub. And then this just shows you just a little bit of what's on board. We have a sky deck with the pool. We have an observation lounge, which is also covered. We have an adventure center. All of our ships have an adventure host on board, where they have yoga on board, exercise classes. We do have a fitness center that's on board all of our ships. Again, the club lounge with the cappuccino maker. We also have complimentary Wi-Fi. So we have Starlink that's on all of our ships. So the Wi-Fi is fantastic. Also, we have flex dining, which I talked about for dinner, and that's from 7 to 8:30. We also have, before I forget, an app. So about maybe 60 days prior, you'll get an email saying time to download your app. So you go on your, let's say it's your Apple, you would go on the App Store and download the Avalon Go app, and all the documents are in there. The app's pretty good. Weather, things to do, places to go, all that good stuff on the app. You can also book your optional excursions on the app. You'll also get an email saying when it's time to book your optional excursions. So we have 3 different types of excursions that are all included in the price. This I think is like one of the main differences with Avalon. This is great because some river cruise companies just give one excursion and everything else is additional. These 3 different style of excursions are all included in the price. So let's look at a little bit of the itinerary. So the whole trip, I have 8 days, but that's the cruise. So the whole trip is 11 days. And I did want to mention too, the name of the ship is the Alegria. And I don't know if anybody knows what that means in Portuguese, but it means happy, joyful. So that's what Alegria means. So you could just do the cruise only portion if you wish, but we have a pre-package for Lisbon. I told you I just got back from Portugal. You know, one thing about traveling, right? It's the food, the culture. You're immersed in the culture and you just learn all about how people live in these different areas and the scenery. And again, back to the food. The food is wonderful there. Um, if you like wine, this is a perfect itinerary. The port wine, I'm not a fan of port wine, but I have to say it was fantastic when I was in Portugal. I tasted one when I was in Porto and had a nutty flavor. It was fantastic. And this itinerary has a lot of wine tasting because look at this region. A lot of vineyards along the way. I mentioned about the adventure host. We don't have bikes on board this ship, all of our other ones. So if you guys have been on Avalon before, we normally have bikes on board, but this you can see there are no bike paths along this river. So it's not easy to go for a bike ride. So we don't have bike excursions on this one. So you'll see here it's 3 nights in Lisbon and then 7 nights on the Douro. And again, this is like a hot destination for land and for river cruising right now. And like I said, for 2024 this year, and Tammy did get space, but it is full. It's a pretty busy itinerary. So right here is Lisbon. Get ready for some hills. Lisbon and Porto, very hilly, and what goes up, right? You got to come back down, or what goes down must come up. So what I did was I highlighted just some of the excursions for the days. So this one is a 3 night land package, so you don't have all these different choices of classic and discovery and active. But you'll see you have a city tour in Lisbon, and that's included in the price. And then you'll see here when you're in Lisbon the next day, you also have another tour. And you'll see here the day-to-day itinerary. And then here is in and out of Porto. And then you'll see one of the excursions you can go on is Salamanca and go to Spain for the day. And you'll see here along the river, some of the towns are right there where we get off and we divide everybody out and you roll right out and go on your tour. But some of these excursions are motor coach rides. Or you can choose to stay on and cruise a little bit more. I just talked to somebody that just did this itinerary. Some days she chose just to cruise because the river is beautiful. Okay, I had to show this. So I just got back, I said from Portugal. These are the little pastries that they have pastels in Portugal. It is like creme brulee in a little biscuit. It is the best thing. So I had to detox when I got home because I was eating these every day. And also the port wine. Port wine, a lot of wine tasting on this cruise, a lot of great food. The big thing also in Portugal, believe it or not, so fish, but these. So I was traveling with some friends, and my friend was obsessed with the cod cakes. They are little, like egg roll kind of, but it's cod, and they were wonderful with some tartar sauce. So the food is absolutely wonderful. So I took some screenshots here of the days. So this is on day 2, just some beautiful towns. The thing about Lisbon, before you get on the river cruise, and you'll also see this in Porto, and you can see this in the picture. See on the right-hand side, all the tile on the buildings. The tile work is absolutely beautiful throughout Portugal, but mostly Lisbon and Porto. When we were in Lisbon, we learned that Lisbon had a huge earthquake long time ago with a tsunami. So knocked out a lot of Lisbon. So they built it back and it's absolutely beautiful. But because they built it back so fast, they thought the buildings looked kind of boring. So that's why you see in Lisbon all of this beautiful tile work that's on the buildings, and you can see it here. So it's absolutely beautiful. The train station in Lisbon was beautiful. And same thing in Porto. The train station had all this blue and white tile work on the side. Absolutely gorgeous. This is in Guimarães. This is one of the excursions that you can choose. Beautiful town. And then here you'll see day 2. You have 2 choices of excursions to pick from. One is discovery. These discovery excursions are a little bit off the beaten path excursions. And classic is a classic walking tour. Again, your meals are all included while you're on the ship. And it'll tell you too at the end of the day if you're docked at night or if you're cruising at night. And then you'll see here day 3, you have a choice of a guided sightseeing tour or a farm visit with wine tasting. So here again, an off the beaten path excursion, which is discovery. You go to one of the oldest farms in the Douro Valley, meet the owner of the house. You do some olive oil tasting, some wine tasting, or you have a classic walking tour. And here you overnight dock, which is nice because if you want to go into town. And again, here is that tile work that you see throughout Portugal. And this one here, you have a guided sightseeing tour. You have 2 different choices to pick from. And here is Discovery. They have this prehistoric rock paintings and carvings that you could go see, or classic guided tour, and then you're overnight docked. And then here is that Discovery excursion that you see here, where it has those rock carvings. And then day 5, you can have a sightseeing tour, or you can go to Spain for the day and go to Salamanca. That's also included. The person I talked to, they did it and they loved the excursion. So get a little day trip to Spain in. So here you can choose these. If when you get the reminder that it's time to book excursions, and as soon as you book, you can book these included excursions. You don't have to wait for these. And if there's something that you really want to do, just pre-book it. You can always change it once you get there. And then day 6, these beautiful towns, the train station. Here again, the Portuguese cakes and pastries are to die for. And they have clams, they have fish, a lot of sardine stores, right? So if you like sardines, a lot of sardine stores, and of course your port wine. One of the excursions is you can paint tile. They actually do it on board the ship. So that's another excursion that you get to do. It's funny because I was just on a tulip time cruise, and that was one of the excursions. You could paint the tile. So here you, during the morning on board the ship, you could do some painting, some Portuguese tile, and then we have another walking tour. Then also, don't forget about the music, the fado music. One of the optional excursions, you could go listen to some fado music. And then here's some going into Porto. See the hills? Oof. So there is a gondola that takes you up and over. This here is the hill coming down to the water. And then you've got the other side that has all of those wineries all along the water. It is just such a beautiful town. One of the excursions here too, the Cork. Cork, if any of you have gone to maybe even Italy, you'll see some of this. I even saw it on my trip in the Netherlands, but you probably can't see this, but this, you can't see it. It's a cork pen that I have in my hand. They have cork pens, cork sunglasses, cork purses, cork shoes. We went and we went to a cork making place and they show you how they make cork. You know, the cork trees grow back every 7 years. They take the cork off the bark and then they boil it and then they cut it and ship it off to these places that make all these cork things. So I have cork earrings, cork pens. So you'll learn that also on this trip. And when you're shopping, you will see all the cork stuff that there is. Portugal is a pretty interesting place. Also in Porto, um, there's a lot of places that remind you of Harry Potter. The creator of Harry Potter, her ex-husband was from Portugal. So there's a couple places in Porto where what was the name of that place? The Majestic Cafe where she sat. That's in Porto. There's also a library slash bookstore in Porto. You have to pay to get in there because it's where she used to go, and it's a big stop. So definitely look into that if you're a Harry Potter fan. There's a lot of places in Portugal that remind you of the author. And here's some other pictures of Porto. And here's some of the Douro with all the beautiful vineyards along the way. It kind of reminds me of the Moselle River where you cruise through and you have all these beautiful vineyards. This is also Porto. It's absolutely beautiful. And that's Porto at night. And then you'll see here in Porto, you have a choice of an active excursion. We do have one bike ride that you can do, but it's in Porto, and then a classic walking tour. And Porto is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and it's the Venice of Portugal. And we dock overnight there. I would highly recommend if you're doing the Lisbon extension, that's great. I would definitely go to Lisbon. It's absolutely beautiful. If you have time at the end of this trip, maybe extend another day in Porto. It's just such a beautiful city. And then you go home. So I have a slide too here on some of our promotions. I don't know why my computer's giving me a hard time today. So if you book within the next 2 weeks, I have $100 off per cabin that'll put on the booking. Also, with Singles Travel International, your gratuities are covered, and that's $168 a person, and also the transfers, which is also another $100 off. So you have a lot of good deals if you book through Singles Travel International. And again, they have space. This cruise is going very fast for 2025 too. Again, this is 2024. It sold very, very fast. I was looking for people and maybe there were some cabins on the bottom level, but the other ones went pretty darn fast. Also, if you guys are interested in pricing or space, just get with Janie and everybody at Singles Travel International. And I'll open it up for some questions, and then Janie's going to get online and show you how to look for the information and make a booking.
Okay, so we do have a question from
Mhm.
Christine in the chat.
Yep.
And okay, did you see that?
No, I did not see it.
Okay, so she's asking, she has booked on May 15th, and she was wondering if the Lisbon extension was included, um, just confirming that it is. And then also if there were any other promotions that she would be getting. So,
We probably have to get back to you because I'm not on the booking side, but I'm assuming you did book with the Lisbon extension. But Janie, would you mind following up with her on that one?
yeah, we'll follow up with you. I'll get with Catherine, and Catherine will reach out to you and confirm what you
Okay.
have.
And I think Christine, because you booked earlier, you got even a better promotion. Because the promotions you just booked, what'd you say, a couple days ago?
May 15th.
May 15th. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll follow up with you and double check the promotions. And you're going to love the trip. Portugal is awesome. Absolutely beautiful.
If there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and show you how you can book. So
Let
let me do
me,
that.
there you go. Stop share. Okay. And then you should be able to share now.
Perfect.
Oh, and Christine Insurance. Okay. They can follow up with you on that one too. Did you get that, Janie, about the
I'm not,
insurance?
let me look. Let's see here. Okay, yep, Catherine will be the right one to talk to about the insurance as well. So I will make a note of that and have her reach out to you about that. Let's see. Okay. All right. So you should all be able to see my screen at this point. And what I want to do is come down here and show who's going. This is always exciting to see who has already booked and people that are looking forward to booking. Some people have favorited it, haven't booked yet, but you can just see who you'll be traveling with. Um, and we have quite a few people already booked on it, and it just came out. So that's really exciting to see. And then I wanted to show the pricing that we have left. So we'll go right here. Okay, so premium members are the ones that are going to save the most on their booking. And depending on how you break up the payments, that will also help you with the cost of your trip. So you can see if we start with deluxe stateroom, if you pay by check or Zelle, the balance, you get the best discount as a premium member. And then just choose whichever one you're most interested in. Lots of options. And then you get to decide if you're wanting to do deposit only or if you want to go ahead and pay in full. And so we had heard about a one night post cruise hotel package in Porto. So if you're interested in booking that, you can just select that right here. If you're not a premium member already, you will want to click that as well and join. You get lots of discounts. You also get priority whenever we have new trips launching. So you know about the trip before anyone else does. And then you can complete your purchase. So I will stop sharing. All right. Well, if there's no other questions, that will be all that we have for tonight. Denise, I'm so excited to have heard everything you had to share with us, and it looks like it's going to be a really gorgeous trip. So do remember that we have the concierge that will be meeting and be part of this trip with you. They take care of everything. And then we have friendly people that you can call and ask questions to. And we'll take good care of you. So with that, I will leave you for the night and we hope you book. Have a good evening.